message gets misunderstood. People walk away from the same conversation with totally different context. Would you describe, Bea, that what good communication at work means? How people assume and perceive things, right? Because what does it actually look like or feel like in a team? Like you're working in a team. Communication breaks down, right? So often in the workplace, even in companies that they say they have a good culture. What are some of the biggest signals that communication is starting to go sidesway in a team? We dive into the stuff that HR professionals deal with daily. Coming in your mind that how we can fix or prevent those type of communication breakdown where then I'll share mine.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that the signs that there's gonna be. So one is rudeness, I would say. Um, how do we prevent rudeness? That's a tricky question. That's a challenging, right? Because it's gonna be another person being rude to you, maybe. So as the person talking and somebody is rude to you, I would say call them out. Have the courage to call them out.
Hmm.
Say, and that's another training that we should really kind of like conduct. Like, having I think we did this before, the power of voice, but you know, that to be like what our CEO always tell us, have the courage to stand for yourself, be your best advocate. And if somebody is being rude to you or treating you poorly, stand for yourself and say, hey, I'm still talking and you're interrupting me. Is there something, uh, can I say my point at least, before you start interrupting me? And again, I'm an advocate of diplomatic conversation. I don't like having negative energy, in my conversation. So I will address it in a very calm manner, I would say.
I think how I take it forward, like how we can prevent those breakdowns there. I think when you are seeing these type of a thing, right? Whatever my team are going silent, I think you need to address it there, then and there. Like
Yeah.
like let's suppose it happened with one meeting and then in another meeting the same thing is happening and it's you are seeing those pattern in your team member. I think one need to take a stand and ask the team member that why you are not speaking up. I think i think and let them talk and share their share them honestly that why they are doing this. Maybe they are feeling where that their viewpoints are not going to make any difference. Whatever they will say, not nobody is going to listen. So I think taking those feedback from the person that who is going silent, who is rambling in the meeting, not having
Mm.
any point, just talking because the person has to talk. So
Yeah.
I think one need to talk to those person that what's happening, guys, and I think that's the way you just go and confront the person.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
also, Tita, for you to be able to really have these people, like for example, you talk to this person and this person is still not talking for some reason. Oh, um, it's nothing, something like that. I think it also takes relationship building with our team. For example, you as the HR, creating that relationship with that person, because if you don't have the skill of building relationships, you can ask but they're not going to answer. They're not
Yes.
going to answer maybe honestly, or still the same thing will keep happening, right? So I think one of the key also is having that relationship building skill, um to because people feel your intentions, and if they feel that you're not being them, they're not gonna share with you. So just
With
a thought.
that, definitely, yeah. And I think with that, I got also one thing that right now I got it like when we talk about communication aware, there are a lot of things that link to communication, like you mentioned about the relationship building, and we talk about the team management, we talk about feedbacks, right? So in this conversation, we really I really got a lot of points that how the communication we talk about effective communication all the time. But if we see we are effective in our communication when we do have a lot of other skills too, right? Listening is
Mhm.
one of the key skill when we are talking about communication. You can be a very good speaker, right? But you can't be a very good communicator.
Yeah, listener. Yeah.
You have to be a good listener. There you have to be this relationship building skill, because we can talk but we can't build a relation. We can talk two pages like a written summary, but definitely if nobody is listening to it, nobody is
Yeah. Yeah.
actually getting the point, then there is no point in telling lot of or reading those two pages paragraph in front of us. So I think one point that I want to make it is that if you want to be a effective communicator, there are a lot of things that you need to improve on yourself. What do you
Yes.
think there?
Yes, I agree. It's really you're gonna be able to really pursue or not persuade, but actually touch other people's life. I would say that when they really feel that they can talk to you with anything and everything. I would say that's the bottom line, I would say.
Yes, that's wonderful, Bea. Okay, so now let's move back to our another question there. So if you have to give three quick tips to manager or HR pro, let's say not a HR pro but a team, on improving communication in their like team or the colleague that they want to talk, so what would be they?
Well, we are already talking about them. So number one, to build relationship with your team, not just always work all the time and all that, and really create that relationship with them, because that's when they would really open up with you in some of their challenges that they're facing, because they feel a lot of us don't want to feel judged. We don't want to be judged by other people. Oh, what this person is gonna say, if I say that I didn't understand. So that is a human nature, I would say. And many people experience that, especially at work, because we all want to be perceived as this expert. But I think if we build relationships and we tell people about it's okay if you make mistakes, it's okay, something like that. So again, relationship building is important for me. Second is be a really good listener, like what I said. You know, Sometimes a good communicator is not the one who always speaks, but the one who is really listening, active listening. So this is also a good training, active listening, for the team as well. So really understanding what this person is saying. And three is ask questions. There is no such thing as a stupid question when you want to have clarity. So ask questions. That's three.
That's wonderful, Bea, and that's something that I also agree on you, that these three things that definitely we need to look when we want to be a good communicator.
Mhm.
So now, Bea, before we wrap up, any final words for the listener, for my audience that who are listening and maybe dealing with this communication dysfunction right now, and they don't know where to start. So any final word for them?
Okay, so where to start? Start with building relationship. That's one of my very very important thing that I can leave every one of you, Deepika's listeners. And communication, there is no um there is no end goal. You are always learning as you go and talk to people, and talking to people, communicating with people. We do that until we die, I would say. So might as well really learn how to do it, right? To do it right. And you know, take courses about it, about effective communication. But if you don't have courses, there's a lot of YouTube videos about, effective communication. So yeah, that's it. And at the end of the day, you will feel it in your heart if you actually have communicated well with people. And yeah, so that's it, I would say.
Wonderful. All right. So that's it for today's episode of HR Unscripted. Huge thanks to Bea for dropping serious gems with us today. And if you got something out of this, do us a favor, share it with a colleague who's maybe and sending one too many replies to all emails. So I hope that this our conversation might help you in who all are juggling with the same questions, that how to be a good communicator, or maybe how to fix or prevent the communication breakdown that they are feeling or they are addressing in their team. So, and with all due respect, just thank you so much, Bea, for joining in me today. And do not forget to subscribe. And next week we are talking about feedback without the fluff. So you don't want to miss it. Till then, keep it human, keep it real, and keep it unscripted. Bye bye. Signing off, Bea and Deepika.